Okay, so if you're running a business, you know this feeling. You're trying to keep all the plates spinning, and the absolute last thing you have time for is worrying about the latest cyber attack. But what if there was a way to get top-tier, enterprise-grade protection that just works for you silently in the background? Well, let's dive into how that's even possible. I mean, seriously, your to-do list is already a mile long, right? You're the CEO, you're the head of HR, you're the chief salesperson, and now, on top of all that, you're supposed to be a cybersecurity expert too? It just feels like an impossible task. And that right there, that is the fundamental problem. You know security is absolutely critical, but it can't become yet another full-time job. The good news? It really doesn't have to be. There's a much smarter way to stay protected. So let's start by looking at this whole problem from the attacker's point of view. They know that small and mid-sized businesses are busy. In fact, they are literally counting on it. And believe me, they are relentless. And just look at the sheer speed of all of this. We are not talking about things changing month to month or even week to week. We're talking daily, sometimes hourly. New phishing sites pop up and disappear in the blink of an eye. Malware code gets tweaked constantly just to slip past those old filters. This just isn't a battle you can fight manually. No way. Which brings us to a really, really crucial point. You know that security appliance you bought a few years ago? Yeah, that one. It might actually be giving you a false sense of security. Let's break down exactly why yesterday's solutions are today's biggest risks. This analogy just hits home perfectly. You set up your defenses one time and then you got back to doing what you do best, running your business. But the internet kept changing and attackers found all new ways to get in. Those unchecked windows are exactly what they're looking for. And the contrast here is just, it's night and day, really. The old way depends on a person, on someone remembering to click update. It's totally isolated, so if a business down the street gets hit, your system learns absolutely nothing. The new way? It's automatic, it's always current, and it learns from every single threat, everywhere, in real time. And these right here are the three critical failure points. Stale protection. That means that brand new phishing attack that launched last week, it flies right on by. The dependency on a human means updates get missed during a busy quarter or just forgotten. And that total lack of shared learning, it leaves you at a massive, massive disadvantage. All right, so we've painted a pretty clear picture of the problem. Now let's talk about the solution. It's a concept called threat intelligence, and trust me, it is much, much simpler than it sounds. Let's just cut through all the tech jargon for a second. At its absolute heart, threat intelligence is just a constantly updating, global list of all the dangerous places and things on the internet. And the keyword there is live. This isn't a static document. It's a living, breathing system that's learning every single second. So what's on this bad stuff list? Well, it's exactly what you'd hope. We're talking about all the websites trying to steal your passwords. The server is being used by ransomware gangs, the digital fingerprints of known viruses, and even the super subtle patterns that show a computer is being controlled by an attacker. Okay, so you might be wondering, a list? How does a list actually protect me? Well, this is where the cloud part of this becomes your secret weapon. Because it's not just a passive list, it's an active defense system. Think about it. You probably can't afford a team of security analysts working around the clock. I mean, who can? But with Cloud Threat Intelligence, that is effectively what you get. It's a shared service that gives you all the power of a massive security operations center, but without the massive cost or complexity. This might be the best way to think about it. You wouldn't use last year's flu shot, would you? Of course not. The virus has changed. Relying on an old security appliance with outdated signatures is exactly the same thing. Cloud intelligence is the new vaccine, formulated for the threats that are circulating right now. So let's just walk through a real-world scenario. First, an employee gets a really convincing email and clicks a bad link. In that split second it takes to load the page, the system checks that link against the global threat list. It instantly gets a match, identifies the site as malicious, and boom, the connection is blocked. The result? Your employee sees a safe block page instead of a fake login screen. Disaster averted, and it all happened automatically. And what this all boils down to is the ultimate goal for any business owner, right? Getting the best-in-class protection without adding a single ounce of stress to your day. And the real beauty of this whole thing is that you don't have to become a cybersecurity nerd. The system is designed to do all the heavy lifting. You don't read the threat reports, the system does. You don't tune the rules, the global network does. You're free to focus on what you do best, growing your business. This is what seamless really truly means. There's no more update night, no more patch panic, no nagging reminders telling you you're out of date. The protection just gets smarter and stronger every single day, all in the background. So, what's the bottom line for your business? Well, it means you get protection that is always current. You benefit from a massive global network where an attack on one company helps protect everyone else instantly. It's super low effort, and it gives you the kind of powerful defense that, honestly, was once only available to giant corporations. And this right here, this sums it up perfectly. It's a fundamental shift from being this isolated target to being part of a huge collective defense. You are no longer alone out there. So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. In a world where threats change in minutes, is your security still stuck in the past? It might just be time to plug into an intelligence network that's already protecting the future.